The wind howled through Chicago's South Side like a wounded animal, rattling the chain-link fences and sending fast food wrappers dancing through the air. Jake Reynolds pulled his turnout coat tighter around his neck, the lingering scent of smoke from today's apartment fire still clinging to his clothes. His boots splashed through icy puddles as he took his usual shortcut home past the abandoned meatpacking plant. Then he heard it. A sound so small it shouldn't have cut through the storm, a whimper like a broken squeak toy coming from the storm drain at his feet. Jake dropped to his knees, his bad shoulder protesting as he pried at the rusted grate. The metal teeth bit into his calloused palms, drawing blood that mixed with the dirty rainwater. When the flashlight beam pierced the darkness, what he saw would haunt him for years. A German Shepherd puppy, no bigger than a football, struggling to keep its nose above the swirling black water. Its golden fur was matted with what looked like motor oil, one hind leg twisted at a sickening angle. The pup's ribs stood out like piano keys beneath its skin. But it was the eyes, wide, amber, and filled with a terror so profound that made Jake's breath catch in his throat. "Easy there, little soldier," Jake murmured, lowering himself into the drain. The icy water soaked through his uniform pants instantly, the stench of sewage and rotting garbage making his eyes water. The puppy tried to scramble away, but the broken leg sent it collapsing with a sharp yelp. Jake moved slowly, his firefighter training taking over. I know," he soothed, as his hands closed around the shivering body. The pup weighed nothing, just bones and wet fur. Then the miracle. As Jake lifted him free, the tiny creature licked his bleeding thumb once, before passing out against his chest. The fluorescent lights of the Animal Medical Center buzzed like angry hornets. Dr. Alvarez's face was grim as she examined the puppy under the harsh glare. Parvovirus, compound fracture of the right femur, severe malnutrition, hypothermia. She adjusted her glasses. Honestly, Jake, I'd put his chances at maybe 20%. Jake didn't hesitate. Do whatever it takes. For 3 endless days, Jake lived in the hard plastic chair beside the ICU cage. He memorized the rhythm of the IV pump, the way heroes, he'd named him that first night, breath hitched during fever dreams. When the cardiac monitor flatlined at 3:17 a.m. on the second night, Jake's scream of "No!" brought nurses running from down the hall. The moment Hero truly woke, when those amber eyes focused on Jake's face for the first time, even the hardened vet tech gasped. "Would you look at that? He's smiling at you." Recovery was brutal. Jake learned to blend steak with antibiotics, enduring needle-sharp puppy teeth. He spent his entire next paycheck on hydrotherapy sessions. The day Hero took his first wobbling steps across their tiny apartment, Jake found himself on his knees, sobbing into the dog's fur. Then the call came from Battalion Chief O'Malley. "Reynolds, we need you on the Montana wildfire deployment." 6 months. No pets. The Johnsons' backyard smelled of freshly cut grass and safety. Mrs. Johnson had even bought a special collar with little stars on it. "He'll be so happy here," Jake lied through clenched teeth, as he rubbed Hero's favorite spot behind his ears one last time. Hero knew first. His ears drooped as Jake stood up, the leash slipping from his fingers. Then came the sound Jake would hear in nightmares for years. A howl so raw it barely sounded canine. Hero threw himself against the white picket fence, over and over, until his front paws were raw and bleeding. Jake made it 3 blocks before pulling over to vomit in a gutter. 5 years later, warehouse fire number 309 should have been routine. Then Jake heard it. That bark. Not the disciplined alert of a K9 unit, but the same desperate cry from the storm drain all those years ago. Through the smoke, a streak of gold. Hero, now 85 pounds of pure muscle, barreling toward him. Jake's radio crackled. "Reynolds! Backdraft warning in sector." Hero's teeth closed on his turnout coat with terrifying strength. The dog yanked backward just as the explosion ripped through the space where Jake had been standing. The concussion wave sent them both skidding across the concrete, Hero's body shielding Jake from the worst of the heat. In the ambulance, Jake clutched Hero's face between his hands. The scar from the drainpipe still cut through his left eyebrow. That's when he saw the vest. "Search and rescue, Station 17. The medic chuckled as he bandaged Jake's arm. "This crazy mutt? He's saved 12 lives this year alone. Funny thing, always works alone, like he's looking for someone special." Hero chose that moment to lick the tears from Jake's soot-streaked face. The taste was the same as it had been years ago: salt, smoke, and home. At the mayor's award ceremony, they called Hero a miracle dog. Jake kept one hand resting on Hero's flank throughout the speech, fingers tracing the ridge of the old fracture beneath his fur. That night in their new apartment, pet-friendly, finally, Hero nudged open a closet door with his nose. Out tumbled a familiar blue blanket, the one Jake had wrapped him in that first night. The Johnsons had kept it all these years, folded neatly in the care package they'd sent along. Jake buried his face in the fabric, still faintly smelling of that terrible winter night. Hero rested his massive head on Jake's knee with a contented sigh, just like he'd done as a pup. Outside, the first snow of winter began to fall. But this time, they were both warm.